BFDI has some crazy challenges in its years of competitions. Childhood games with no mercy is just the next thing on the list. With brutal deaths, heartbreaking losses, alliances, murderers, and one winner at the end, this is BFDI Squid Game. Cause if Mr. Beast can do it, why can't Leafy? How's it going? I'm Zaxby, and I'm gonna walk through a simulation of BFDI characters in Squid Game. To make this easier and more interesting, we're going to disregard the whole recovery system idea. We know all these characters have faced death one way or another and have been able to recover their friends, but in Squid Games, any death will be viewed as permanent to these characters. The contestants consist of 66 characters, the 64 that competed in BFB, and the 2 Teapot debuts.
The first game is red light, green light. You are allowed to move forward when it shouts out green light. Stop when it shouts red light. If your movement is detected afterward, you will be eliminated.
Red light, green light favors characters with high speed and agility. However, keep in mind that this is the very first game, and based on the actual show, no one knows that lives are at stake. So remaining calm and keeping a level head is just as important. Now, the games begin, and let's see who would pass this game with flying colors. First, Needle easily clears this game with no problems. As shown numerous times, Needle is one of the fastest runners out of all the BFDI characters, and she's smart enough to keep a leveled head in the midst of the chaos. And Dora showed immense speed in BFB 11, so it's clear she survives this round as well. We're also going to clear the flyers for this round, as their abilities provide high speed and agility in the sky. Along with speed, characters like Teardrop and Golf Ball would also be victorious for this round, as each are smart enough to catch on quickly to what's at stake. And most armless characters will for once benefit from only having legs, as they've got heightened running abilities having to live with legs only. We're also going to throw in Loser as a clear winner, as his popularity, though fleeting as it may be, would be helpful, as someone like Cake or Eggy would probably literally carry him to the finish line. But with the clear winners out of the way, it's time to run through some of the eliminations. As sad as this may be, Rocky would most likely be the first one shot. As we've seen, Rocky has to non-stop vomit, and he wouldn't know any better given the giant guns pointing towards him. And once Rocky goes, Woody and Bombi shortly follow. Both these characters are played off as easily frightened, Woody literally being scared of the color gray. Once those gunshots are heard, these two are running away immediately, which leads to their demise. Fragile characters like Bubble, Bottle, and Balloony unfortunately have very little chance of making it to the end without dying. These characters pop and shatter so often that it's no argument these characters would kick the bucket early. And unfortunately, Mommy Belle also would not survive the first round. She may try and stay still for a round or two, but ultimately she's emotional, and she does what Bells do best, shake and ring. There's no way she doesn't set off the motion detectors. R.I.P. Mommy. Speaking of high emotions, a double elimination follows with Bracelety and Ice Cube. As soon as Bracelety realizes her life is on the line, she knows she has to spend her last few seconds of life with the one she loves the most, Ice Cube. This jittery excitement and desperation would... And as all of these deaths are occurring, it's only a matter of time before one of the Death Pact members try and intervene. While we know he means well, Marker would eagerly try and prevent death, unknowingly causing his own. We see an example of Marker's irrational behavior in Teapot 8, quickly jumping off the high beam to prevent death. And with the first immediate deaths out of the way, the remaining characters continue playing red light, green light. Strong-headed characters like Donut or Lollipop would start to make it closer to the finish line, and most likely be helping their close friends make it too. Speaking of friends checking in with the Alliance, Match, due to arrogance and laziness, would be on a break time, and that break time will eventually become permanent as she's... And unfortunately, after seeing both Bubble and Match's deaths, Ruby would reach her demise as well. Ruby is caring and emotional. We don't think Ruby would be able to stop shaking and continue on her own in the round. However, Pencil has shown a lack of care, specifically towards being separated from Match, so she'd continue on without them, no problem. As the clock counts down, we're going to eliminate some of the characters that are just too slow to make it within the time limit. Spongy and Stapy are the two heaviest characters on the show. This weight slows them down substantially. Robati has also shown to move at incredibly slow speeds, being a giant metal box. And our final elimination will be 8-Ball. A slow rolling ball with no limbs. He'd either not be fast enough or won't be able to control when he stops rolling. Either way, he's not making it. After the first round, 66 goes down to 50.
You will now play the second game. The shape you have chosen is the shape you must remove from the honeycomb. Those who fail to remove the shape within the time limit, or break the shape, will be eliminated.
Yep, up next is Dalgona. For this game, patience, steadiness, and creativity is essential to successfully survive this round. For starters, the one who beats this game the easiest is Pin. Pin has shown precision and craftsmanship like when she baked a cake and drew 4 back to life. Although at times she can crack under pressure, Coiny is still in the game, and we believe Coiny would encourage her, which is enough for her to clear this game easily. Mechanical minds also excel given they are programmed for precision and free from human error. Or object error? Pi surprisingly passes as she's very collected and calm throughout the shows, having a relaxed and flexible pace. The first elimination this round would have to go to Fiery Jr. Fiery Jr. is made of fire and would burn the cookie almost immediately. And Fiery Jr. is a bit of a hothead. Get it, cause like fire. So he'd lose his temper immediately and not even care to be cautious. With that being said, Fiery would burn the cookie pretty much just as easily. Lightning isn't free from damage as he would accidentally electrocute the cookie and cause it to crumble. Black Hole not only suffers from having no arms, but as soon as he would get near the cookie, he'd suck it up. Although, once the guards start shooting at him after his loss, the bullets would just get sucked up, and Eraser would either get bored and not finish, or eat the cookie immediately. Either way, he's out. With Eraser dead, Pen immediately gets shaken, but I do think he's strong enough to go on with Blocky, and the two of them both are creative enough to make it past this round. The timer continues slowly, and some characters struggle to even start. You need to have a steady hand, and unfortunately, a lot of these characters don't have any hands to give. Cake, Eggy, and Clock are all unable to compete, and Loser doesn't seem like the type to return the favor after the help that he received in the last challenge. Fanny would attempt to use her legs, but would just get pissed off and break the cookie. Cloudy, Yellowface, and Puffball all lose with no arms or legs to have any hope of winning. Cloudy and Yellowface would get shot with little to no resistance, but Puffball would fight back, flying away and causing chaos. And during her rampage, I'm sure she'll be petty about her loss and destroy some characters. Already struggling characters like Naily and Foldy would be quick casualties as Puffball continues her rampage. By now, one of the guards would have a decent shot on her and Puffball would officially be eliminated. Gady would nervously beg for their life as she can't cut the honeycomb, and Frontman 2 can't do anything but watch. Eliminating every armless contestant would be kinda lame, so we're gonna give it to Golf Ball and Tennis Ball to survive because we've seen them take a test with their legs, so they've mastered the grippers. Basketball's also smart enough to master her grippers too. And Price Tag would bribe someone like Book to cut their shape out for them. But for our final elimination will be Nickel. Dead bodies around him, looking down at his non-existent hands with no hope. He would just sit there till the time limit and not even attempt anything, cause you know his ass chose Umbrella. After the second game, 50 players decreased to 33.
Lights will be turned off shortly. There are no rules tonight. Survival is your responsibility. You may act as you wish.
As soon as the lights go off, Pillow would immediately go out to murder anyone. She's a psychotic murdering Pillow, and she's got a hit list. First on her hit list is Price Tag. We see Price Tag get ripped by Pillow multiple times in Teapot, so we can only assume they're the most satisfying kill for Pillow. Pie is next on Pillow's death list. Pillow would bash Pie to death, and Pie is too calm and careless to do anything about it but just sit there. As blood is shed across the room, characters that aren't trying to die start to hide and team up for protection. The mechanical minds continue to say they need to stick together, so they'll probably huddle up as a team, led by Golf Ball and Tennis Ball. The bros, Snowball, Blocky, and Pen, would also stick together, and Snowball would also protect Grassy, and maybe Coiny. So we've got two big groups of characters with Golf Ball and Snowball as their leaders. Two characters that both dislike Basketball. Yeah, she's gonna get outnumbered, and Snowball would aggressively rip Basketball in half. Saw would accidentally give her hiding spot by screaming out 8, so she's destroyed by Pillow as she searches for victims. and Pillow, covered in blood, would slowly approach her last victims, Donut and Barf Bag. Pillow would get hungry at this point, and she loves the taste of Donut's innards. Hey, yo. But Barf Bag would be by Donut's side, so I don't think Pillow could overpower both of them, but she would be able to snag at least one of them, so if anyone's gonna die, it's gonna be Barf Bag. And David gets devoured by Dora. The lights go on and 5 people died in the night. 33 players are now 28.
Welcome to the third game. The rules are simple. You will be divided into teams of 7 people each. Then you will play tug of war.
Strength and having a good pull-out game is key to winning, as well as having a solid team to problem solve. The team picking phase begins, and some of the alliances from the night stick around. Snowball, Grassy, Pen, Blocky, and Coiny would stick together. And Coiny wouldn't leave behind Pin, so he would convince them to let Pin join, leaving one spot left, and between Coiny's allies, Donut and Needle, Donut would be more likely to join, as Snowball would rather have one more dude on his team than a girl. The mechanical team would stick together too, but this team has multiple armless people, which would make people stay away from this team. Tree is kind enough to stick with Remote as a Death Pact member, and Winner is also nice enough to join them as he's partly armless too. The Newbie Alliance would stick together, and Lollipop's allies Book and Taco would join too. And Book has seen Dora's powers, so she would choose her to join for her strength. And Pencil would force herself to join Book's team at the last second. And as these teams come together, the characters that no one wants to team up with are left. Flower and Leafy are naturally hated by most. Lie, Needle, and Fries' attitudes make most people not want to team up, and most of Loser's fans are now dead, so he's also lacking allies. And after the night fight, Pillow isn't the most popular amongst her peers. The first team will be Snowball's team versus Golfball's team. A fitting end. Snowball's team is stacked with strong characters led by strategy given by Pen. While Golfball's team has the strategic side of it, they fall short on strength. So without further ado, Golfball, Tree, Tennis Ball, Robot Flower, TV, Remote, and Winner are all eliminated and fall to their death. And the final match, Lollipop's team versus the team Hated People. One team is full of allies and friends and would have better teamwork, meanwhile the other team is full of people that are not easy to work with. Pillow would probably shove her whole team off the cliff before it started, killing them all. So that leaves us with Lie, Fries, Needle, Loser, Flower, Leafy, and Pillow eliminated. The cast is now cut in half. 28 falls down to 14 remaining.
For this next game, you will play with your partner. Each player will be given 10 marbles. The player who manages to take all 10 marbles from their partner wins.
Intelligence, manipulation, and dumb luck are the skills needed to win this one. Let's take a look at the teams. Keep in mind, they paired up without knowing they're gonna have to kill each other. First pair, Snowball and Grassy. Snowball thinks very highly of Grassy, and although Snowball is a tough guy, he has a soft spot for Grassy, which is why Snowball would sacrifice himself to save Grassy. Pin and Coiny would try to play a game, but I think the two would try and sacrifice themselves and fight for who gets to live. In the end, Pen and Blocky decide to play the throwing marble game. Blocky, full of tricks, you would think he would be the ideal one to win, but he's up against Pen, as someone that has known him for years. If there's one person that's gonna see his tricks coming, it's Pen. Dora and Teardrop both have immense power, but Teardrop seems to have some more feats of intelligence and would win the match. Taco has shown guilt of abandoning Book, so Taco would end up sacrificing herself. The Newbie Alliance crumbles as Gelatin and Lollipop face off, and while Lollipop does have more intelligence, Gelatin is the definition of dumb luck. Donut and Pencil would be the last pair, and they would argue the longest, and the time would be ticking very close, but Pencil in the end has better manipulation tactics and would win against Donut. The cast once again divides, leaving 7 remaining.
Welcome to the 5th game. The players will cross a bridge made of pairs of glass panels. Players must choose one of the 2 panels in each pair and cross the bridge by stepping on them one at a time.
Dumb luck is honestly the only thing helping you survive this game. We begin with the final 7, choosing the order they play. Pin would immediately choose number 1. She's self-centered as a heroic in her eyes and would be eager to lead. Grassy is innocent and excited to go next. Then Book seems like the type to want to play it safe and go in the middle, with Pencil aggressively choosing the number right after Book. Teardrop is also smart enough to go for a middle number. Pen at this point would be too shaken to pick in time after his whole bro squad got killed. And Gelatin is clueless and picks the last choice, unknowingly getting him the best pick. The games begin and Pen steps up being the first to cross. She'd start freaking out at this point, and with Coiny not by her side, she dies on her first step. Grassy eagerly hops along, and having better luck than most, he does get 2 right before dying. Book hesitantly crosses with Pencil breathing down her neck. This whole time, Pencil has been desperately following her, and Book has tried pushing her away. Now Pencil has lost all of her sanity. Pencil jumps at Book, killing them both. This leaves Teardrop, Pen, and Gelatin to only have a few more panels left, and for plot purposes, the 3 make it to the other side easily.
Congratulations, final 3. I'd now like to give you a feast.
Pen is heartbroken and empty as all of his friends are dead and he's barely hanging on, but hey, at least he got steak. Gelatin is honestly just questioning how he made it this far. Teardrop is silently scheming and holding the steak knife, deciding who to kill. In the middle of the night, Teardrop stabs Gelatin to death. Teardrop knows Gelatin has some dumb luck on his side that she couldn't beat in the next games.
And we head to the Squid Game. Yo, I'm not gonna lie, I don't think anyone knows the rules of actual Squid Game. So, just fight to the death.
Pen has more plot armor as he lost all of his friends to get here, and he's nice enough to be the main character. Teardrop is smart enough to get here, has manipulated and betrayed people, and has multiple powers like shooting lasers out of her hand. Plot armor is super powerful, but realistically, Teardrop kills Pen and becomes the winner of Squid Game.